G'day guys, Matt here from Not in the Manual. I'm just here at the Fully Charged live show here today. I've just had a walk around myself and it's pretty cool. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of a tour. So I thought I'd start out here outside where it's a bit quieter. I thought you'd be able to hear me a bit better. And just here there's a few things to see out here. There's a theatre over there, one of the Giga theatres. We've got an electric bus here and we've got this auto alley sort of thing here you can walk through and look at different cars. So we've got a lot of different cars on display here. These are people's cars. We've even got a Holden Volt, which is a Chevy Bolt, and I don't know too much about them, but we've got some converted cars out here as well. There's a converted RX-8, which I would have liked to have done myself as well, but yeah, to do a conversion would be a fun project, but yeah, it's super expensive at the moment with the price of second-hand cars. But you can see a lot of people here have got their own personal cars on display, and yeah, getting to see a few cars in the flesh here today that I haven't seen before, so this has been quite good. Okay, so I had to correct myself there. This is called Electric Alley. So we've got a few cars on display here, some unique looking ones like this Model 3 here that's been wrapped in obviously a colour that the owner likes. And we've got a few older cars on display here. We've got some, we've got the BMW here, and we've got an older Nissan Leaf. And you know, we've had electric cars here in Australia for a long time, but yeah, we're really starting to take it seriously now. Got our Hyundai Ioniq 5 there, and it's quite good to be able to walk through here and see these cars in the flesh, and yeah, just get an idea of what they look like. So we've got the Mega Theatre here. They've got a talk going on in there at the moment. That was about electric motorcycles there before, and yeah. So there's a big focus here today on sort of ride sharing or subscription or leasing for EVs, just to try and help make it affordable for people to get into an EV. And I think that's quite a good thing. Anything they can do to help people get into their own EV, I think is a good thing. Right, this is the electric bike test area, so you can ride electric scooters, electric bikes around and test ride them for yourself. This looks like a fun thing to do with the kids here today. So if you're not sure whether an electric bike is for you, you can just come along and have a test ride. Right, when you first come into the show, you're greeted by a big MG stand, Polestar over there, NRMA have got a stand here. We've got LDV, a couple of the energy companies here have got stands showing their car leasing, and yeah, a few companies doing solar panels, and yeah, this is what you're greeted by when you first come in. So yeah, it looks pretty good. A lot busier than a lot of the other shows I've been to here in Australia. Yeah, definitely attracting a lot more people.
Over on the stand anyway, so
alright, we've got Polestar here. Quite a nice looking car inside. And showcasing that you can tow with an EV as well. I quite like the look of the Polestar. So we've got the MG stand here, so we've got the old MG ZS EV, and then on the other side we have the new MG4. So this is the one with the bigger battery, a bit more power, slightly different styling, and more range. That's pretty cool.
the bigger that is, it's a flat
Another stand that looks pretty good is the Good Car Company. So these guys are importing cars from Japan and the UK and Europe, second-hand cars, so trying to really assist that affordable EV market here in Australia. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. They're bringing in mainly Nissan Leafs at the moment, but they've got a Peugeot E208, which I'll show you now. Oh, sorry guys, it's a bit crowded here today. Probably not going to get to have a look at a lot inside of a lot of the cars, but this is the Peugeot E208. Looks quite good. I had a bit of a quick look inside before, and yeah, these are second hand. They don't actually look second hand, they look quite new. There's actually plenty of boot space here in this car, and yeah, it's a small SUV, but yeah, not too bad. So yeah, this is an older Nissan Leaf, 24 kilowatt hour model, 2013 to 2017 these were made before they changed to the new style there. These cars would be good enough for the majority of people doing just doing driving around the city. Yeah, they definitely don't look like second-hand cars. They're all in pretty good shape. So yeah, this is quite a comfortable little car and could probably, you know, be easy to park. And if you live in the city when you don't need a huge amount of range, this would be quite a good little car for you. And the Good Car Company are also doing, looks like leasing for new cars as well, just to try and help people get into the market. So yeah, this company's doing quite good things. Yeah, it looks like these guys are doing, working with novated leasing and things for companies. You can see here Origin Energy is doing some deals for fleet cars, just to help bigger companies get into the EV market and shift their fleets over. And this seems to be a big focus here today. There's a few vans on display here today and they look quite good. These ones have pretty good specs. I think if I was at a small little courier company, I'd really consider getting into an electric van. The running costs and things would be a lot less. It really would be something to consider. So there's a few of those on display here. There's a van here for you know, like small tour groups and things. Airport transfers. These things would be great. Definitely low maintenance and low running costs. So yeah, good to see this sort of thing coming on offer. These are Skywell brand vans. It looks like it's a Chinese product. And yeah, a few of these commercial vehicles on display here. So we're only going to see more and more of these coming into the country as time goes on. So the Tesla Owners Club have got a display here. They've got a few cars on display here as well. So if you really want to come and have a look at a few of the different models here, it'd be a good place to come and just have a walk through. I think they've got a few talks and things on as well. So definitely plenty of people here to give you some advice. Right, we've got the LDV van here. So yeah, it looks quite good. A lot of hard plastics and things around, but you expect that with commercial vehicles anyway. So actually it's quite comfy to sit in. You know, I think if I was a courier driver, I'd really love being driving an electric vehicle and having that sitting in the car all day delivering packages. Definitely be much nicer driving an electric vehicle. Yeah, they actually look quite good. Then we've got the LDV Ute over here as well. So a lot of bad reviews about this, about the interior looking quite ugly. You know, I don't think it's that bad at all. I think it's actually a reasonably good, looks like a reasonably good build quality car. And yes, it's very similar to a lot of the other cars on offer here from China. They're really a petrol or a diesel car that's had that drivetrain taken out and an electric drivetrain slapped in. So yeah, we might just go and have a look inside that car now. Some people just hopped out. So this is the LDV Ute. So yeah, the interior looks quite nice. I know there were some complaints about the gear selector, but I mean it's got the rotary dial here. I mean you know, it does have a couple of things filled in. But yeah, it is a nice vehicle. It's been converted. But you know, this is the first generation of the electric things. I'm just glad to see an electric ute come to Australia. Looks like it's got all the tech. You've got the reversing camera here, tailgate. Yeah, it all looks reasonably, you know, very similar quality to what I see with the Ford Rangers and the Mazda BT50s and things. So you know, it's just got to be rough, rugged. Yeah, and then put up with abuse from the tradies putting stuff in and out of the back. These sports bars are just for show. They're not really going to help you with any sort of rollover protection. Okay, so this is a bit of an EV conversion area. So these are one of my favourite cars that have been EV converted, the Volkswagen Beetles. I'm a big fan of them, and I think converting them to an electric vehicle solves a few of the issues they had. You can get a bit more weight in the front on those front wheels, a bit of better weight distribution, and they handle really well. They drive like a go-kart, and the conversions are, you know, there's a lot of just bolt-in conversions available for them these days. Pretty cool. I'd do it if they weren't so expensive in the second-hand car market at the moment. So you can see here it's a nice tidy setup for the electric motor in the back. All fits in quite neatly. Love it. Another one of my favourite cars are Land Rovers. You know, I'm a big off-road guy. I definitely love to be in an off-road, have a four-wheel drive electric vehicle again at some stage. This one's had quite a nice job done on it. It's had I followed this one on social media. It's had been done by Traction EV. James Pauly, there's a nice guy. If you're over here looking at the stand, have a chat with him. Pretty knowledgeable guy, and pretty brave to start this business off. You know, I think having electric conversion on a four-wheel drive has a lot of benefits. Having that low-down torque, that would just be really improve the off-road performance of the vehicle. This one's had quite a nice job done on it. I'd really love to have a Land Rover conversion, but I mean, these cars on the second-hand market are just ridiculously expensive, and that's really put me off, because you're looking at, you know, if you do the conversion yourself, you're still looking at around $20,000–$25,000 for everything you need to do the conversion. We have a Tesla small drive unit converted Volkswagen combi van here. As you can see, there's plenty of room for batteries in the back here, and then it has the small drive unit down in front of the batteries there, connected to the rear wheels. 2 or 3 cars. I'm a big Volkswagen fan. You know, I love these. I know they're not the best handling cars, but you know, doing this and having the regen braking and things really adds to and corrects a lot of problems that these vehicles had. With braking and suspension, you know, it allows you to get that weight distribution a bit better, and at the same time, you know, you're getting some better braking there with regen of the motor, and it gives you an opportunity to look at rebuilding and upgrading things on the car to improve the safety. So over here we've got a Range Rover that's still in a partial conversion state. It's got it's got the chargers, motor controllers, and things here. It's sort of partial completion stage. It's got the Tesla drive unit in the middle there, going out to the front and the rear axles. Quite a neat job. I mean, I think it's good for people to come along to these shows and see these cars in their sort of partial completion stage like this in parts. I mean, this is going to be such a nice vehicle to drive when it's completed. Here's another classic combi. I really like these combis. This is one of the ones with all the glass windows. Yeah, I really love these. This one's been restored very nicely. You can see here it's just so much tidier than the messy, you know, ICE engine that was in it previously. It's So they've got some battery coolant and motor coolant systems here. You've got the motor controller or your inverter. So you've got your 3-phase cables going out to the electric motor. This is a net gain Hyper 9 motor. And then you have coolant that goes through, and there's a chill plate in behind here to keep that inverter cool. And then you're also pumping that coolant out to cool the battery as well. So quite a tidy little setup. Someone's done a pretty great job on this conversion. Okay, you can see this conversion has been done by this company called British Off-Road, and they've done a very tidy job on this combi van. Alright, this is the electric motorbike area here. I'm not really a huge motorbike enthusiast, but this motorbike looks pretty cool. This is the Savic motorcycles. This looks like it's a bit of a prototype. We've got some electric scooters over here. And we've got the Fons motorbikes over here. They've got scooters and motorbikes. I did see them at a previous show. We've got AE bikes here. These ones here look pretty fun as well. I'm definitely more of an off-road person than an on-road person. You can see they've got the little small motors here that you can buy for conversions. Yeah, it all looks pretty cool. I do love dirt bikes, but I've never actually owned one myself, but definitely my preference than a road over a road bike. Looks like lots of fun. One car that features pretty prominently here today is the BYD Atto 3. And for good reason. It actually looks like quite a nice car. This is my first time here today seeing a BYD Atto in the flesh, and being able to climb through one and have a look. So yeah, they're a pretty impressive car. This one here has been put in here by 6T Rentals. So definitely on when I start up travelling for work again, I will be looking at hiring an electric car. So I think lately there's a few more options with Hertz, 6T, and I'm sure the others will catch up soon. This is the NRMA stand, so you can see here we've got an NRMA service vehicle, roadside assistance, so they now have our electric vehicle charger on board. So they have batteries in there and a charger. We can just, you can see here there's a Type 2 connector, and I think they will just charge at a fairly slow speed, just to, if you do run out of charge at the side of the road, they can charge you up enough to get you to the nearest DC fast charger, or 3-phase power point, or somewhere where you can top up your car for a longer period of time. So BYD have got a pretty good stand on here today. They've got a DJ, well, I did have a DJ going earlier on. They've got 2 cars on display here. You can come and climb through the cars and have a look. It's a bit crowded here. I'll see if I can get to sit in one and have a look around and show you. Yeah, it's pretty crowded here. It's probably going to be very difficult for me to get the car to myself sitting inside it and look around, but yeah, definitely a nice looking car, and it's not a very small car either. I think, you know, if you're into your SUVs, it's quite a decent sized car. You can see in here, plenty of spare space. I'm not really sure with this Atto whether they do a petrol version or a hybrid version or something, but there's definitely a lot of space in here. It looks like one of these ones that's had an engine transplant. Alright, finally got a chance to have a look inside the BYD. So looking in here, it's quite a nice little cockpit here. It all looks pretty neat. Nice little display there in front of you. Pretty futuristic looking gear selector. Air vents. Yeah, the styling in this is actually pretty futuristic, but different, but maybe that's a good thing. Plenty of space in the back. Yeah, it actually looks pretty comfortable. Those seats, looks very roomy in the back there. Lots of charger companies like Jet Charge, EV, ABB. A lot of things around here. I won't bore you with all their stands, but there's a bit of that around here as well. We've got Ampol showing off their amp charge chargers that are going in at their service stations around Australia. We've got another BYD Atto 3, you can see plenty of them on display today. Actually, I should have looked over here because it's much quieter. You can see the boot space there again. Quite a nice looking car. Everything looks pretty well made. Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with this car actually. Even the wheels, some cars the wheels just look too small. This one, it all looks in proportion. I actually quite like the styling of this car. So what else have we got over here? We've got the BP Pulse. They're advertising their chargers as well. We've got another big MG stand here as well. That looks quite good. More charging stands. Might just head on over, we'll have a quick look at the solar cars. I found that quite interesting. This is EVX's stand, so they do, looks like they do home charging points. They've also got these new power pole chargers that are being installed around Australia. That all looks quite good and quite convenient. And that's the thing we need to address is people that live in apartments that park on the street having somewhere to charge. It's an electric skateboard test area here. We've got Evolve skateboards. They look pretty cool. Not really my thing, but looks like a lot of fun. Okay, there's a few solar cars here on display. So this is, I remember back sort of 80s, 90s when you were told about these solar cars racing. You know, that's what I remember seeing on TV. This SunSwift racing car, I think it's a combination of solar panels and batteries, but it's a super aerodynamic car. It's got the 4 seats here. It's pretty cool. Oh, they've got the back open. They didn't have the back open before, so you get to see some of the suspension components here. And I'd imagine this is where they slip in the battery modules here. Pretty cool, pretty good project. A lot of these solar vehicles, the technology they develop to enter these races and things actually help with research of improving technology for everyone with these vehicles. So quite a good thing. It's good for the uni students to learn. It gives them a project to work on. We've got an older sort of solar car here, a solar powered car here as well. I had a chat to the guy over on this stand here before. This is Aurora, so they've been doing this a long time, and there's some pretty interesting things there. And then another solar car here, so these are quite interesting stands to come and have a look at. Okay, the Australian Electric Vehicle Association has a stand here showcasing some converted cars. There's a really cool thing, that little ute over here was found in the paddock. I was talking to the girls, it's some girls from a high school here in Sydney. It's a project they're working on. It's an extracurricular activity that they're doing, and I think that's pretty cool. So they get to do that after school hours and work on this car, and the school is paying for this to be done, and I thought that was pretty cool. I had a bit of a chat to those guys, and we got some familiar EVs that we've seen at some of the other shows here. There's a Mini Moke, that would be an absolute fun car to drive with an electric motor. Pretty cool. So yeah, we've got a few converted cars here to showcase.
It's going to show up for like the die-hard fans, but like
we've got some converted motorbikes, more converted Volkswagens. Yeah, pretty cool. Come over and see the work. Some of these are older converted cars, so it's good to see how they were doing the conversions a while ago to how they're doing it now and how that's progressed. A lot more plug and play these days, but some of these guys did it you know, with scraps of electronics they've found around the place. So pretty interesting. Come along and have a chat to these guys. They've all got pretty interesting stories. We've got the Jolt fast charger stand. Now Jolt have been putting in chargers around. You'll see those little green electricity little substation sort of things on the street. Well, they've got their chargers that slip over the top of those and take advantage of the infrastructure that's already there, and that's quite good. You get 25 kilowatt fast charging, DC fast charging, and they've been quite good. I think it's the first 7 kilowatt hours you get for free, and then you pay after that. So that's been quite good, and I've seen a lot more of their chargers going in around Sydney.
They're expensive if we don't do them.
There's a Gigatheatre here inside. They're doing a few shows here, a few talks. I've got a few panels talking about different subjects here, so you can come along and sit here and listen to some of the experts talk about different things in the renewables area. We've got more charging infrastructure here. There's solar panel home charging things here, so if you're looking at what's available for you there, I think this would be great. There's a lot of people, friendly people here willing to just have a chat with you about things. So these shows are always good because these guys are, I've sat at many trade shows and they can be boring. You really love the opportunity to have some people come up and you talk about what products you've got on offer. Alright, now EV Stealth Solutions have got a stand here. I might try and have a chat with Michael, who started this off. This is the hitch that I have on my Model 3. So you can see here it is designed to be stealth and sort of come up from the bottom into your car, so you can unclip this and put the opening panel back onto the diffuser, and it doesn't even look like you've got a tow bar. It's nice and well hidden. Now with the Model 3 you do have a bit of a clearance issue, so it's good to remove this when not in use. So you want to have a good nice mechanism to be able to do that. Yeah, I'll just give you a quick demo here of how it works. So it's all quite easy. Yeah, and it just drops in place there, and then it automatically locks in place after you push it back in. So it's got a little mechanism here which operates that latch automatically. Okay, so it's a pretty good setup here. If you look here on the hitch that clips up, it's got a cutout there, and so when you put the hitch up into the locking mechanism here, it locks very securely. So there is this cam set up here. You can see up in here it locks in place. It comes up and hits this button. That flicks this cam mechanism back around, and you can see up in there's that little pin or cam. It locks it nice and securely. It doesn't rattle around. And you can also, once the tow bar is locked in place, there's an integrated lock here with a key, and once that's released you can lock, take the key away, and it's nice and secure. So yeah, the Model 3 can tow up to 1,000 kilograms. The hitch is rated to 1,000 kilograms, and it's all certified here in Australia, so there's no problem there using it to tow trailers and boats and things like that, as long as you're sticking within that capacity.
Whether they had a tow bar for their vehicle.
So EV Stealth Solutions have partnered with Carousel Tow Bars, and they're developing their own Australian-made tow hitches. Just walking past the MG stand and thought I'd get some footage of the MG4. So very similar size to the BYD Atto 3. It's a small SUV. Looks quite good from the outside, but yeah, it's one of these cars, the wheels just look too small. The earlier Hyundai Konas I thought were the same, and this car actually has a bit of a Kona look to it. You know, very different styling from the other MGs. But yeah, I'll try and have a look around inside. I'm just waiting my turn. Okay, I'm going to look inside the MG4. Right, for starters, I'll try and get comfortable here. Okay, so I'm 6'2" and I can get comfortable here. That's pretty good. Yeah, quite a nice console here. All looks pretty good quality. Got plenty of storage here. Cup holders. Looks quite good. Very minimalistic, like the Tesla, which I like. Still not a huge fan of the screens here because I'm used to the Tesla, so when you're driving your hands are in the way often when you're steering and you can't see that screen anyway, so I don't mind the Tesla being just there. Oh, looks pretty good build quality, plenty of room in the back. Yeah, not bad, pretty impressed. Seats are comfy, cloth seats. Yeah, pretty impressed. I just love, with these EVs, you just don't have a lot of things here. You get a lot more storage. So yeah, quite nice. Pretty impressed. So yeah, I might call it a day here. So yeah, I've had quite a lot of fun walking around here. I've learned a lot, spoken to some pretty knowledgeable people here today, and yeah, it's definitely worth coming along if you can. If you can't, hopefully they'll have another one of these each year, and I know the NRMA have their little EV drive days. It's definitely worth coming along.